Hello everyone and welcome to Stan the Wine Man TV. I am your host, Stan Rattan, and this is the Blue Collar Wine Show where I try to help you spend your wine dollars wisely. And as promised, I'm doing another blind tasting. This time it's an expensive Bordeaux, cheap Bordeaux, whatever you want to say. One of them might be around 20 bucks. I'll put it on the caption. I'm not sure about the pricing on it. I pull these out of my cellar. These are wines that I buy. The cool thing is I buy these Bordeaux in good vintages. Most of these are from 09. I think there might be an 07, there's an 09, 10. 9 and 10 were great vintages out of Bordeaux, and what I found is that when you have great vintages in that land of red blends, you end up with pretty good wines for less money. So if you're deciding you want to stock your cellar a little bit, you might look for inexpensive, cheap, let's use the word cheap, Bordeaux from those vintages, because you might be surprised at how good they are. There you go. I actually have a cellar full of inexpensive, cheap Bordeaux from these vintages because I found that they really aged nicely. Well, we're going to find out. I have no idea how these are doing. They've been in my cellar for 3 to 4 years. I'm excited to give them a try and see. Let's see, 3, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, 3 to 4 years. I've had them in my cellar. So there you go. Quick shout out to Mike Burns. Thank you for making a comment about doing tastings in the blind format. I know you like it. A lot of you think that they're more objective. Like I said before, I think sometimes it helps the more expensive wines in a blind format because they tend to be a little more critical when they're more money. Just a little quick Bordeaux 101, okay? You ready? There's the 5 grapes of Bordeaux, but there are actually 6 grapes of Bordeaux. Cab, Merlot, Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, Cabernet Franc, Petit Verdot, and Malbec are the 5 recognized, and believe it or not, at one time Carmenere was one of the grapes of Bordeaux. It's funny, they're planting more Malbec in Bordeaux now that it's become so popular in Argentina. You rarely will see Malbec in a Bordeaux blend these days. In fact, you don't always see a lot of Petit Verdot. It's usually just Cab, Merlot, Cab Franc. Bordeaux is broken up into 3 basic areas. There's Graves in the south of the Gironde River, and there's only one Grand Cru Class A out of the Graves, and that's Haut-Brion. Haut-Brion, H-A-U-T-B-R-I-O-N, Haut-Brion, very famous Grand Cru producer. And then the Gironde River runs down from the Atlantic down through the, well actually the other way. Anyway, the Gironde River on what is called the left bank is the west side of the river, and those are Bordeaux's predominantly made of Cabernet Sauvignon. Mouton Rothschild, Lafite Rothschild, Margaux are all big names from the left bank. There's more, of course, but those are some that you might recognize. Then there's the right bank, east of the Gironde River, and those include places such as Petrus and Cheval Blanc in the movie Sideways. The dude in the hamburger joint at the end of the movie was drinking Cheval Blanc. Predominantly Merlot-based wines. So that's kind of a breakdown of Bordeaux. If you didn't know that already, now you're all the wiser, right? They had a classification at one point where they defined who was Grand Cru and who wasn't, and the only I think Lafite Rothschild, I believe it's Lafite Rothschild, came in later than that classification date. And then Haut-Brion is the only one that's outside of the left bank. There's no right bank chateaus that are Grand Cru, although a lot of people would argue that Petrus and Cheval Blanc certainly should be Grand Cru Class A. So what I found, and I'll just reiterate this, is when you're in a really good vintage in Bordeaux, you tend to find really good values from there. A lot under $15, some under $20. And so I taste those wines, I buy a lot of them, I put them away, because if you're having a cellar and you're not like, you know, loaded and you can't do first growth or second growth wines, you can go with these wines and put them away and see how they'll do. It's a very small investment to see how wines will age. So let's get started right off. By the way, I'm going to do my prediction on this episode for the Seahawks Carolina Panthers game, so get ready for that. Number 1, there you go. A little rinse. Like I said, these are all from my cellar. They've been bagged. I have no idea what order. In fact, I'm not even sure if I know the producers on these. I just grabbed them out, had them bagged, and numbered them. So there you go. It's kind of fun. I like doing this. Especially from my cellar, I like to see how things are developing. Let's see what we get on the nose. A little stinky, a little dirty. That's what you expect from Bordeaux. I get a little bit of a sour cherry element out of this one. A lot of leather, like leather soaked in unripe cherries or sour cherries. A little bit of tobacco coming through, like a perfumed tobacco. Yes, that's what I'm getting. Let's see what we get on the palate. Interesting, this has more fruit than I would expect. Excuse me, I'm going to grab a pen real quick. I'm going to be able to write the grade on the back of the wine. Maybe I'll use this one. Anyway, oh, there's a pen also. Okay, a little more fruit than I expect from a Bordeaux. I get the minerality on the backside. A lot of like dark currants and dark cherries coming through. Minerality definitely underneath. And a little bit of earth, not a lot. Nice little underscore of acidity, which of course helps in the aging. Ton of leather on the back end and tobacco. Like leather and tobacco all day on the backside on this one. Very interesting. I know a lot of people that would really like this Bordeaux because of the fruit element that it's in it. A little bit of forest floor coming through at the end. I like the minerality. I like the combination of this wine. Curious to see what this. I'm excited to see which one this one is. Let's see here. Okay. Not a classic Bordeaux. I mean, in the sense, if you're like that real rustic Bordeaux guy, you might not like this guy or girl, whatever. But I'm telling you right now that it is a really, it's fleshed out pretty good. I don't know what it tasted like when I first tried it, but very curious to see which one that one is. Number 2. For those of you that are thinking the Minnesota Vikings got cheated on that game, Seattle had more yardage than them. Seattle outplayed them, so Seattle deserves to win. Color on this one, fairly dark. I didn't look at the other one real closely. I'm sorry about that. You can see through it barely, actually. Pretty good color on this one. Let's see what we get on the nose. This has a little stinkiness and a little bit of vegetal thing going on the nose. I get a little bit of like wilted rose petal, not like rotten or anything, but you know how they kind of wilt and they get a different, little bit of a different aroma. That's what I'm getting from this one. Interesting. Well, there's definitely leather. A little bit of and get a little bit of a little horse manure, sort of sheep manure thing going on. Definitely meatier than the other one. Let's see what we get on the palate. This is a little more raisin-esque on the palate. There's a nice little, like, old forest floor, like, you know, it's dry during the summer forest floor thing going on. A lot of dark cherries, very earthy, a little bit of raisin quality coming through, not like entirely raisin, like, you know, just borderline kind of, you know, currant raisin. Not prune, though. Nice minerality, nice dry finish, good balance, good acidity. This had more acid than the last one, which tells me it's either youthful or it has more ageability, which I always find incredible when you're dealing with these Bordeaux that are less expensive, how well they're made, even though they're not expensive. A little hollow on the mid palate, you know, it's not super exciting, but it's very interesting, very well built, just a little hollow on the mid palate. I'm getting that nice kind of tobacco leather backside. All right. So I want to make sure I can see this. Okay. It's going to be tough with this yellow, but I think I can do it. Okay. Not bad. Not bad at all. Okay, let's move on. Number 3. Kind of exciting for me. I'm really excited to be able to take inexpensive wines that I feel will age a little bit and put them away in my cellar, because it can be an expensive hobby, putting wines away to age. So it's nice when you can do it and not, blow the bank. So this seems a little lighter than the last one. I can see through it. I get a little bit of color on that, so definitely a little lighter. Let's see what we get on the nose. It's a little bit stinkified on the nose, which you expect sometimes from Bordeaux. Almost like sweaty leather. I'm definitely getting currants. Definitely tobacco, and definitely very earthy, like baked earth, a little bit of forest floor coming through. It's interesting, I'm getting a little bit of an herbal component that I can't quite put my finger on. Alright, let's see what we get on the palate. Solid fruit on this one. Really dark fruit, like currants, dark cherries, tobacco. This is with a lot of minerality underneath. Like it's almost like you licked on a wet rock before you drank the juice. It's very interesting. It has a delicious factor and the old world factor. It's kind of like a cross between the two. I find it a little bit one-dimensional. I mean, I'm just getting that same flavor profile front to back with that gravelly element underneath. With a little bit of vanilla on the back end. I'm getting a little vanilla hit. A little bit empty, and not super excited about that one. I think it's okay, but just not very exciting. There's a wine word for you, exciting. I like that word, exciting. Is a wine exciting? Does it excite your sensory palate? All right, number 4. Sorry about the wrinkled bag. I had to recycle one. I was one bag short to do this one. After the Chardonnay tasting, I dug this one out. So we got a wrinkled bag. Hope that doesn't bother you. It doesn't bother me a bit. Probably shouldn't wrinkle these out, right? All right, number 4. Set that over here. Color on this one a lot darker. I get a lot of violets, kind of crimson colors on this one. Let's see what we get on the nose. Well, this is interesting. Very floral on the nose. I get a lot of rose petal. I get a little bit of lilac coming through. Definitely a raisin element, for sure. This one smells a little older than the other ones. This one smells like it might have more age on it. I don't know. Has a little cinnamon hint on it, which I find very curious. And a little bit of licorice and tobacco. Very interesting nose. Let's see what we get on the palate. Now this one might be the favorite of most of you. Definitely more fruit, polished tannins, a little grit on the backside. This is a tough one because I do get that serious kind of minerality on the back end. Very big hit of fruit up front, which you don't really expect from Bordeaux, but you know, hard to say. It certainly gets serious on the backside. I mean, I feel like somebody just took sandpaper and just got my gums and my tongue. You know that feeling, that kind of gritty, dry feeling where you need some meat, you need a steak, you need a hamburger, you need some pizza. This would fit in that category. This is tough because I know a lot of you would like this one at the stage it is. It might be the older one of the bunch. I have no idea. I think it's very interesting how it's developed, wherever it is. It has good acid, a lot of tobacco. Actually, I get a big hit of tobacco on the backside. This is a tough one. All right, there you go. Let's see if I can read my notes here. Put them in the order in which they're scored. Okay. All right, there we go. Okay. Sorry about that. I should have used a stronger pen. Okay, so in fourth place with a B-, Chateau La Moratine Bordeaux. Okay, Moratine. I believe this rolls in at $13. 2010 Bordeaux. I gave it a B-. Okay, so a B- wine for. Sorry guys, I'm having trouble with not enough room here. Chateau Moratine, $13. Yeah, I'm actually impressed with this one. B-. Let's move on. So this one in third place with a B-, just a hedge above the other one. Baron de Chartrons Bordeaux. This rolls in at $10. So in third place, a $10 Bordeaux, 2009. So there you go, 2009. I'm surprised nothing went down on the C category, which is impressive. In second place, with a B+, I believe. Yeah. Sorry guys, I should BB+. Make sure you have these in the right order. But that'd be a lesson to you. Yeah, okay. So the BB+. Sorry. No, number 4 was the Chateau de Lorraine Saint-Emilion. And this one, let's see. Right Bank Bordeaux. It actually puts it 80% Merlot, 20% Cabernet Sauvignon. So there you go, Merlot based from the Right Bank, as we said. And I believe this rolls in, I'm not positive, I'll put it up there, I think it's between 20 and 22 bucks. Okay. And in first place with a straight up B+, 2007 Chateau Buisson Redon Bordeaux, $9. Okay. I think that I called it, I thought this was the oldest one. I thought it was showing a little raisin quality, but I thought it really stood out. And it's the oldest one of the bunch. And I think it's the cheapest one of the bunch. So there you go. Cheap Bordeaux that you can age. They all came out with fairly decent grades. I'm kind of happy about that. I'm kind of excited. That's very cool. I like it. Seahawks 28. Panthers 24. You keep watching, and I'll keep helping you spend your wine dollars wisely.